Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sylvia Maharani, and I will answer a question of number 1. The answer is the term transgender refers to individual whose gender identity differs from in the sex they were assigned at birth. This can encompass a wide range of experience and identities, including people who transition from one gender to another, those who identify as a non-binary, and others whose gender identity doesn't fit traditional categories. Islam perspective on transgender individuals can vary widely based on cultural, social, and legal contexts within different Muslim communities. And the answer of number 2, transsexuality refers to individuals who experience a disconnect between their assigned sex at birth and their gender identity, and often seek to transition from one sex to another, typically through medical interventions such as hormone therapy and surgery. The term transsexual is somewhat older and less commonly used today, with transgender being the more inclusive and preferred term for describing a range for gender identity and experience. Islam perspective on transsexuality, like on transgender issue in general, can vary significantly. Traditional views, contemporary views, country-specific practice, ethical and religious debates. And the answer of number 3, in Islam jurisprudence, Kuntha refers to individuals who are intersex, meaning they have physical or genetic characteristics that do not fit typical definition of male or female. Intersex condition can involve variation in chromosome, gonads, sex hormones, or genitals, which may be present at birth or become apparent later in life. And the answer of number 4, in Islamic terminology, mukannat refers to effeminate men or individuals who exhibit characteristics and behaviors traditionally associated with women. Historically, the term has been used in various contexts with Islamic literature and jurisprudence, often with different connotations based on the period and religion. And the answer of number 5, the term mutarojilat refers to women who exhibit characteristics, behaviors, or roles traditionally associated with men. This term appears in Islamic texts and jurisprudence to describe women who adopt masculine traits or attire. And the answer of number 6, the treatment of a transgender individual's body after death in Islam can vary based on different interpretation and cultural practice within Muslim communities. There is no single universally accepted approach, and practice can differ depending on local customs, the beliefs of the individual's family, and the guidance of religious leaders. However, there are some general principles and consideration can be highlighted. Traditional approach, assigned gender. In many traditional and conservative interpretation of Islamic law, the body of deceased transgender individually would be treated according to their assigned gender at birth. This including the gender-specific rituals for washing, shrouding, and burial prayers. The number 2 is desired gender. Some contemporary scholars and communities argue that out of respect for the individual's lived experience and gender identity, the body should be treated according to their desire. This perspective emphasizes compassion and importance of acknowledging the individual's true identity as they lived. I think that's for my answer. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.